Hello and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, in which we're playing The Resolve of Naruhodo Yunosuke, otherwise known as Daigakuten Saiban 2. So let's start off with The Resolve of Yunosuke Naruhodo. Final chapter. The Resolve of Yunosuke Naruhodo. November 3rd, 9:14 a.m. Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. So, time's finally come. Today, we unravel everything. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Susato. Susato? Oh no, what's the matter, Naruhodo? Nothing. I was just saying that I'll be relying on your support today, but... I'm so sorry. Of course, I know it can be rather incompetent at times, but... I shan't let you down. Could you let me back up? What you might help me to my feet then? Oh dear, I'm really very sorry. Well, what the hell's wrong with you? Susato isn't her usual self at all. But that's hardly surprising, I suppose. She just found out that her father's the partner of a world-famous detective, not to mention... Good morning, sir. What? Lord Van Zeeks? Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. What? Did I hear that correctly? What? Oh, no, nothing. I hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says, I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday. But Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper, Naruhodo. Good point. The Reaper. I suppose I might say it. I shall never allow that misconception to go unchallenged. Huh? It was my tacit acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than mere legend that led to all this. But you're not to blame for that, Lord Van Zeeks. It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling it that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. That having been slain by that evil killer, Clint Red's spirit returned as some sort of demigod. to wield a deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the law, could not. Yes, we've heard that story too. And I lost him. I felt as though I lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. So, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. Even if I know it was just illusion, just nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public. He was obviously extremely important to you. Lord Clint Van Zix. Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that, beyond a shadow of doubt, in court today. I'd see this, but I can see it in your eyes. That burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Oh, Iris! When did you get here? Oh. I brought you one of my special blends. Harry loves it. Says it helps him clear his head. I thank you. That's surely the first and last time I'll ever see a sight like this. You seem different today, Iris. Sort of subdued, I suppose. I am not. What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Sai's laboratory. Alright then. Good luck to you both. I have to make a move now. Oh, you're not staying? I thought you wanted to watch today's proceedings. Well, I like it cheer you on, obviously. But I got lots to get ready. Get ready? For what? Oh yes. Would you take this? Isn't that one of your little felt dolls that's usually dangling from your knapsack? Yes, it's a lucky charm. A little Harley that I made once. A hottie? Looks more like a hairline to me. If for some reason you completely run out of options in the try today, then just pull this little Harley's ears as hard as you possibly can. What? Pull his ears? But that's right, it's a way to break them up. I think you might need it. Her lucky charm. A little dull of psalms in hair form. I've been told to tug his ears if I run out of options in the trial today. Can I get one in dog form? You think of what we'll need as a dog? I just need to peek inside the courtroom. And it seemed very different to normal. Yes, it will seem. That is certain someone has decided to pull out all these stops. What does that mean? What about Soul Cyrus? I don't know. He was out all night and hadn't come home by the time we left this morning. Oh, I see. Was Professor Mikatoba out all night too? Do you think, Susato? Yes, would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all. They? Father and Judge Jigoku, I mean. Judge Hell too? That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday. Counsel for defense and defendant? Court's about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once. Collecting Runo? Collect Susie? Yes, thanks, Iris. You, Mr. Reaper, I hope it goes well. Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very sweet. Oh, I'm so glad. We must go inside now, Lord Von Zix. Lord Von Zix has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend, Asogi Kazuma, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. Trying to get my wind back in all this. November 3rd, 9:30 a.m. inside a courtroom. It feels even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. There are cold stares piercing me like knives from all sides today. Naruto, look! Lord Strongheart! Kazuma must have known beforehand. The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundation of our country's legal system. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that the prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international harassment. By royal decree, this will continue to be a closed trial. And one over which I, male Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. The 6 years flames. As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. process. In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Stormheart? On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord 16. You were a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother Clint, in fact. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. For the trial of Barak von Zieks, who officially stands accused of murder. Counsels for prosecution and defense, are you in full readiness to proceed? Defense ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors in Scotland. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice, Mr. Daily Vigil, who will be given the inspector's identification and present himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work. In fact, he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear that he had buried his memories of the time deep inside himself as a means of self-preservation. Because while he was engaged as chief warder at Barclay Prison, he abetted a convict's escape. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Sinners. He's recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson while investigating the Redhead League. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed the suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch had not been opened. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Really? Go ahead, prosecutor. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She confirmed that the defense suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on October 31st, the day before his body was discovered. I have here an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday that the time of death was 5 p.m., November 1st. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. That's not the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse. My lord, this is more than conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be inaccurate, it would give renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident. But yes, especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. Do I sense that the prosecution has some information regarding the murder? Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation. So the prosecution calls its first witness now. State your name and occupation for the court.
Inspector Jada Lestrade, court representative of Scotland Yard.
Self-conferred rank. Never mind.
Gina? Again? What's your problem, Odo? What's with that Gina again? Look, The boss meant the word to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did.
Inspector Gregson. They got me out of the back slums of East End and took me under his wing. Taught me that love can have a purpose. So that's what I'm the best person to be standing there and speaking for.
Gina.
Right. All of the goodness of Gregson's heart, not at all that he had his arm twisted by some. What's relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. That face. Stronger no. So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report.
Coming right up, sir.
Testimony. Movement.
All y'all detectives are supposed to be follow orders and investigate what they do. But their sergeant of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a load of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled goods dealings that day. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is there's witnesses what saw the river at the place too.
Smuggled goods?
I don't know, do ya? I'm just telling you what was written in the book.
Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines. Goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. Well know that they're disposed of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So I expect Gregson was investigating one of those black markets. It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigations being leaked to the involved parties. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority without the knowledge. And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time? In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation in the matter.
That can't be! We haven't heard anything about any of this.
Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question. The accused, Baron von Zix, was present. That would be very significant testimony, though.
Oh my, but Lord von Zix has made no mention of this at all.
In short, Lord von Zix has ample opportunity to murder the victim. Very well then, counsel for defense, begin your cross-examination. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place?
Yep. It was all in there in the boss's heads. Let's see if I can remember.
As I've already said, that illegal dealings were due to take place at a gentleman's club. Yes, I remember, but I was hoping to find out the name of the club. That won't be necessary. What? It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in the future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in these proceedings.
I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's about here. All I gotta do is read it out. You know, I could too. I got this reading game button up now. Can I show you what I could do? Go on. Awesome.
Judge has a signals of objection here. I could try to find out. What should I do? And shit. This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this matter. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Cosmo? There's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market dealings, however. It's not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive.
Right then. Look at the show. Let me read this case.
She's so proud of herself.
Apparently the smuggled goods deal was gonna happen at a gentleman's club called the Grouse.
Grouse with your house. The Grouse? What sort of club's that?
I ain't got the foggiest. Cause I ain't exactly my thing. But I ain't kinda curious.
They're not places where a foreign student like you would repeat readily.
Have you looked in the mirror recently? I'll tell you what. Me and Chief Inspector Toby could go in undercover.
Could you though?
I could pick out a few demands and see what else I could find out while I was in there.
I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where these black market dealings were going to take place, is it?
Yeah, it's gotta be. That's what the lower-ranking detectives at the all-ranking.
There's the even lower-ranking detective.
Like this have some sort of steamship ticket. Yes, that's Grouse, first class cabin, 001. Oklahoma departure, September 11th. Arrival, London arrival, November 1st.
Ah, that's the boat. The Professor Ikitoba and Judge Jigoku when you came on from Japan.
Yes, I think it's called a Duncan on the north coast of France for a night before finally arriving in Dover.
I think it's only been a year since we arrived in Dover on the SS Budia. Seems a shame not to keep your ticket as a memento of your trip, don't you think?
Yes, I agree. I might safely in my diary.
And I keep mine in my wallet, so I have with me at all times. Oh, well, how strange. Where could have gone?
Are you like this on purpose? Not a hold up.
I imagine it, or was that comment accompanied by a little sign? I read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they're places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Daring to imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted. Seriously, is your mirror cracked or something? Do we know for sure that the contraband dealings were definitely happening at a club called the Grouse? The police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definitive yet. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean by that? I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on October 31st? May not have been a gentleman's club at all? You're showing a very irreverent attitude towards our country's police force there, Counsel. If it wasn't a gentleman's club, then what was it? A steamship. You think it's a ship? I have the evidence to prove it. Here! Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. Yes, I know it. Be more specific next time. Ah, this would appear to be a ticket for the passage upon a steamship, then. The SS Grouse. So there's a steamship named the Grouse that happens to share a name with the club. But I'm afraid to say, there's a flaw in your logic there. How? Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arrival in port. The ship arrived at the port of Dover on November 5th. The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, October 31st, when the victim was on his clandestine mission. That ship hadn't yet docked on British shores. That was said he made an undercover investigation of someone challenged. The fact that the steamship hadn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense assertion that the victim was investigating the grouse on the day in question. Then show your evidence for that assertion. Very well. In that case, counsel for defense, present your evidence to the court now. Evidence that substantiates your claim that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on the 31st of October. try it. It's proven by this evidence here. Yes, this evidence proves it, I think. The proof's in the pudding. Those three equally nonsensical statements wasted 15 seconds of the court. You will accordingly suffer 15 seconds worth of penalty, counsel. Gah! I need to work on picking up this second term of phrase.
I think you might need to work on picking a more appropriate piece of evidence first.
I'm sure Gregson was on board that ship the day before his body was found. We know that Mrs. Crown stopped by the port of Dunkirk in France. I take it from your expression that you intend to risk further penalty. In that case, counsel, for defense, present your evidence to the court. Yes. It's not here in my records. Give me a sec here. Okay, after a bit of cross-referencing, I'm gonna try something. Let's have a look inside. See that? There's something stuck in the side of the trunk here. It's glinting. Looks like a fragment of metal of some sort. It's wedging so tightly I can't remove it. Hold on, cut yourself. You better leave it, I think. Let me go back to my notes. Look, there's something inside.
Let's see. It appears to be a passport authorizing him to travel overseas.
Was Inspector Gregson allowed to go on a trip abroad then?
Perhaps the date of departure might tell us something. That was...
What is it?
It was travel? on October 31st, just one day before the incident.
What? Really? Gregson went to France the day before his body was discovered. It might be out of order, but it's proven by this evidence here. Yes, this evidence proves everything. Did prison? We know that the ground stopped recording. Okay, really, I need to do some cross-examining. No, not cross-examining, cross-referencing. Be right back. I love using cross-reference. Here it is! What is this? Passport for travel issued to the victim. Dated October 30th. What are you suggesting? I am suggesting that just one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there's a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country. Order! Order! This document is for passage to France. It doesn't appear to have been officially authorized. The day before the SS Grouse arrived at Dover, it docked on the northern coast of France for a night. According to my father, who was on board, at the port of Dunkirk, France. What could possibly have taken the victim there? Back to my notes. I'm impressed, Naruhodo Yunosuke. I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport. What? You mean you knew about this? The prosecution strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That's the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations and the line the prosecution has been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. I think the prosecutor's office is trying to hide something. What? And now that you've expertly disproven their assertion, I intend to reveal what I believe that something to be. What are you playing at, prosecutors? A courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all facts without exception. Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it? The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way to the steamship docked in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper. The Reaper? Order! Order! What on earth are you saying, Counsel? The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine. By the Reaper's hand! But, in reality, the truth is the opposite of that. What? Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was, in fact, acting for the Reaper. So, you're saying the mission he was undertaking was obviously assassination. Baron von Zeeks never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victims lost their lives, he always had a cast iron alibi. Which tells us that he must have had an accomplice. And that was Inspector Gregson.
What did you take your time, eh? My boss would never done nothing like that.
And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense.
No, it can't be.
We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? That Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper. Even so, there's no way that the person giving him his orders was Lord Von Zeeks. The true Reaper is somebody else. Baron Von Zeeks is not the Reaper. Ridiculous. From someone who's advocating for the man. And even if that's true, that Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went aboard the SS Gross on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all. You have some solid reason for doubting the assertion. Absolutely. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard that steamship. Professor Mikitoga and Judge Goku were on that very ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. What's so funny? You're right, of course. No suspicious death were reported on board the ship. But I think perhaps you've missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life. What? Gregson did board the SS Grouse that night with the intention of dispatching his work. But his mission ended in failure. Failure? Seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped a very important detail here. What are you talking about? What detail? Inspector Gina Lestrade.
What?
The victim's notebook that you read an excerpt from earlier. That doesn't contain details of secret investigations at all. It describes 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out by the Reaper of the Bailey.
You're lying! Even if all the plotters weren't taken out at common. Boss, what the Reaper?
There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. You may just be an apprentice, but if you spent any time in Scotland Yard, you must have heard rumors.
I ain't heard nothing, and I don't believe a word of it.
Then testify again. As a representative of Scotland Yard, consider it your chance to defend your voice. I concur. The witness will give a new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's secret notebook. I don't think I need to slap my hand on this either before I add effect. Reaper's notebook.
Yeah, it's notebook outlaws. Knows stuff about what the Reaper got up to these past 10 years. Names, victims, dates, and places and stuff. And I sent you, and that was October 31st. I took Gregson for the place on the day, the name of the month. There was no about him being a criminal all the way from Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. The boss didn't do none of it. It was just investigating the Reaper, that's all.
Give personal opinion on your testimony, witness. We require only established fact here. This must be so hard for her. You can't deny it now, surely. Naruhodo, Yunosuke. What can't I deny? The notebook contained the name of the final mark and the location where the assassination would take place. That's information that the victim could only have known if he was working with the Reaper. Ugh! So, who was to be this final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the grouse on October 31st.
How do you read this thing?
Reading's still not our strong suit.
That ain't the problem, right, are you? It's a funny name, it ain't English. It's hard to read.
So it's someone from overseas.
Let me have a basha.
Say Cheryl. Jigoku. Go on, you.
Yeah, say Shiro. G-O-D-U, maybe. Jigoku.
What? It can't be. Seishiro. Kunio Jigoku?
But that's Jigoku.
Seishiro. Kunio Jigoku. Certainly not an English name. But that can't be right. I know Judge Jigoku. And I saw him the day before yesterday here in London. So I know for a fact that the man hasn't been assassinated. As I said, the Reaper failed. Oh. Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and returned to British shores. Another Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake. So he killed the inspector. Personally. The Reaper, of course, being the accused. Baroque Van Six. It's an undeniably logical argument. Oh shit, man. Dude has just pulled out the Char and the Edgeworth all at once. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollow chalice where I stand accused of murder. For I shall put my foot up someone's ass. Lord sakes! The accused has no right to speak uninvited in court. You will return to the dock. I say nothing of whether or not I am the reader. That is the task of this court to decide. But there is one thing I can say unequivocally. That girl is no detective.
Eh? No, that's right. I'm an inspector.
Repeating rumors heard around the yard. Reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. That is not testimony. It's practically script. No doubt the rest of the trial will go exactly as you clearly planned. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I am the reader who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. Oh, jeez. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister reaper yourself. By attempting to have me condemned with these feeble excuses for testimony. What did you say?
Not order. This our chance.
My lord, defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information relating to the testimony just given by the witness. Very well. I will make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination. Then, allow me to toast the court's impartiality. Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for defendant, begin cross-examination immediately. At once, my lord. That means press everything. In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the reporter.
Not yet at all. The only explanation is it? I could have been investigating the rebound secret. That notebook said what we found out.
if I may. When originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I did object. I believe the power to intimidate London's criminal classes into compliance with the law to be beneficial. But you carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes. And those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper.
What are you on about?
The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. There's simply no way one person could have taken them on. The Reaper is an organization with you at its head. I had spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. So I've been able to check out the most recent entry in his book. I know the location. You knew it's a grouse? Believing it to be a reference to the gentleman's club, I looked around in question to investigate. Hello.
So that explains why several members of the club claim to have seen him.
But of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time, he was making his way to the steamship docked at the northern coast of France. As shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Yeah. Back to the testimony about the contents of this note.
Shot by something a moment ago.
Oh, no, it's alright. I'm overthinking this.
Look up!
Names of victims, dates, places, and stuff. What in particular?
This other victim's name. His other name kept popping up.
What other name was that?
It's one I told you yesterday. Same name over and over again.
You mean Assassin?
Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend you'll summon, isn't she?
Were you even listening yesterday?
What? Killer? You mean?
Gregson was the tactician, the one who came up with the plan of the trunk. He investigated the monster thoroughly, finding out when they would be vulnerable and holds were used to get at him. But the person actually executed his plans is someone else or so. If that's true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes. Ah! Then perhaps what it said on the passport document. Permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been? Clearly, the assassin, who was meant to take Seishiro Jigoku's life. Gina, can you confirm that against the final entry that listed Grouse and Seishiro Jigoku Guanyu? What name was written?
What? That's the only entry that didn't have a name next to it as it happens.
What?
He just had like a question mark or something there, I think.
In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case. But Gregson was the one making the plans with it.
Oh, how infuriating.
A nameless assassin? And you're saying that the mark listed was Seishiro Guanyu Jigoku.
That's what I said. Thought your name if you asked me. And I thought your name was old.
So pleased to have lost my crown there. The Jigoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judicature. I remember the man came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago. Studying international law and diplomacy under your privileged That very young fellow was a very able man, I must say. So much stronger was Judge Goku's. If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago.
10 years ago, after that fateful case.
Precisely. In the aftermath of the professor case, his repatriation was organized immediately. It's a mystery as why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook.
I didn't think it was possible, but the mood has got even worse now, so maybe I'll just keep talking.
You keep talking, I'll keep pressing. What do you mean, criminal? Judge Goku's no criminal.
Now, don't ask me, I know nothing about it. Do you remember what Father told us? That Judge Goku didn't want to be in court here in Britain? Is it related to that professor case, I'm sure?
Yes, of course. You're right. Seishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and actually managed to break the witness stand. He also said some contemptuous word about the British Empire for which he was charged. He gave him hell. That's what he did. He gave him hell. It was a pitiful situation. I'd forgotten all about it, but I prosecuted that trial 2 years ago. You did? It was considered to be an adjunct to the professor proceedings, but he was acquitted after being told to make reparation for the damage caused to the stand. And there you have it. Have what? Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike. What? No! Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Goku was targeted for assassination? The man was sent back to Japan immediately after that trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. Come on! That's absurd! To take someone's life for that? Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd, killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly, the rules by which the man operates are beyond the sane person's comprehension. But... Idiotic!
Well, I had just about enough of this.
Gina?
All this nonsense about the boss plan to kill people. It's copious. Come on, Odo.
Yes?
Why aren't you saying nothing? What? Why did you shut it out? You get out of here or something.
What?
You can't fly like you do usually. Seems like I ain't no question you gotta work out who it is. Please, for the boss.
That outburst was an insult to the court and to your own testimony. I might have known that a common pickpocket from the backstabbers couldn't make a detective. Ooh, them's fighting words. When this trial's over, you will forfeit your one card, Miss Lestrade. Is that clear?
You guys with every place you look at the wedding. I had up.
So have I. After that was speech of Gina's. I made up my mind.
Did you what, Naruto?
There was one point in this cross-examination when something that was said just didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd.
Oh, do you mean...
I'm not going to let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears. I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve. What do you mean? Amongst everything we've heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency. Inconsistency.
Video, though.
I don't quite know what it means yet. Yes, there's an inconsistency in something that was said by. You! Kazuma Asogi. Me. Is something attempt at filibustering counsel. Prosecutor Asogi has given no testimony. What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I present the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you realize what you've done. Very well then, counsel, go ahead. What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency in something Professor Asogi has said? This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson. Metal construction, is it? Certainly very heavy. What is this? A neat stain, and a relatively fresh one, too.
What? You mean that egg grease from all the boss's fish and chips?
Girl, what? Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggests that the victim was traveling with that luggage and he was cute. That can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report. Yes, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the trunk, hoping to sell it.
Well, I found it! Me! With me nose for trouble!
Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Unless, of course, we're talking about somebody who was present when the victim was killed. And yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this, Cosma. Because at the time he was making his way to the steamship dock on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk? We know the man went on a trip to France. Where else would he have put his passport? But you knew it was a metal trunk! Answer me honestly, Cosma. On October 31st, where exactly were you? At the port of Dunkirk on board the SS Grouse. Is that the answer you're looking for, Yunosuke? Kazuma, what did you... I ain't concerned about possibility. If Kazuma was there on the ship, it can only have been for one purpose.
No,
Come on, Yunosuke. You know the rule. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is hard evidence. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So, as it stands, you proved nothing. Kazuma! Are you challenging me to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that you were there that day, in the same place as the inspector? He was there with Gregson. There's a clue that you have overlooked, a secret that trunk can tell us. I can't be sure at this point. Need to verify. I have an nasty feeling I'm going to be right. An accusation has been made. It's deeply disturbing, but nevertheless we must test it. The defense will identify for the court where in the trunk this alleged clue was to be found. Where is the evidence that ties Prosecutor Asogi to Inspector Gregson? Examine the class, we'll look in. That's right. Here. A metal shard stuck to the side. There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here, like the tip of a blade.
A blade?
Kazuma, slung around your waist as ever today, is the esteemed blade Karuma. Of course it is. Won't you draw it here in this courtroom for all to see? Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer. Bailiff! Watch Prosecutor Asogi like a hook! That won't be necessary. There's nothing my blade won't cut! Oh no! The tip is broken. If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed. Asogi Kazuma? Expertly done, Ryanosuke. That's a point to you, and well deserved. Do you mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Asogi? Yes. On October 31st, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. So the additional person authorized to travel was me. And the mission was the assassination of the man. What?! You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Wanyu Jigoku? Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one. Explain. I accepted the assassination mission, yes. I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk. But I never had any intention of carrying out the plan. You were never going to do it. We can believe Kazuma, I'm sure. After all, Judge Jigoku arrived safely in London the following day. On the 31st, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. Then we boarded the SS Grouse, made for cabin deck, as indicated in the plan. You went to Judge Jigoku's cabin? Exactly. He wasn't there then. We decided to wait. You've already told us you had no intention of going through with it anyway. I didn't come to England to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson in disembodied shape. I spent the night at a boarding house in town, and returned to England the following morning. In Dunkirk? My signature will be in the register book. It would be simple enough to verify. Then, what became of Jigoku? Gregson was no assassin, so Lamont was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. We met with the Reaper in that room on Fresno Street to report the failure. Causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger. And then he's going to agent's life. That's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder. But if you did nothing as you claimed, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the Inspector's trunk? I don't need to answer that. The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade is irrelevant to the case. And accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on that matter. Be that as it may, the court will sequester the sword as evidence. As you wish, my lord. So, we get the great sword cut away. As evidence. We must take immediate action now to verify whether Seishiro Guanyu Jigoku remains unharmed. What? Remains unharmed? I agree. That should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. How'd you... When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should arise. You don't mean to say... You think... He may have been killed? The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal. And he has the power and influence to get over to the other side of the prison cell. Isn't that right? Blood runs 6. If I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you. Order! Order in the court! Order! We will take an emergency recess for 30 minutes. Now? Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can't be located within half an hour, we will have to assume the worst. Not Chachikoku. No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who only just arrived in the country. Except that is for the Reaper wanting to finish off a knot that slipped through the net 10 years ago. I would have to agree. Mr. Naruhodo, for the defense sake. My lord! I sincerely hope we are successful. If we're unable to confirm Mr. Jigoku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, you will face grave difficulties. Court is adjourned for 30 minutes.
Kazuma, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare.
can hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories. I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful has happened to Jachigoku, and I feel as though things would only spiral further and out of control. I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. That strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunate, though, I don't think there's anything we can do, but wait, we're out of options. Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last ear. Of course! The little soul stall that Iris gave us.
If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, and just pull this little Harley's ears as hard as you possibly can.
Perhaps now's the time. What should I do? Pull Harley's ears now. Pull! He does nothing then. I'm gonna do it. Turn it on.
Good luck, Naruhodo.
No looking back. Saw it!
Ow! That scream sounded like Mr. Solms.
Solms! Where are you?
Here, my dear fellow! Here!
It's the felt doll talking!
Pull the ears again, Naruhodo, as hard as you can.
Alright then. Pull with all my strength into it. Saw it!
Ah!
Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off.
Because where are you?
Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first class cabin area of the SS Grouse.
Then the SS Grouse?
She left over last night after the final piece of cargo were loaded. We're currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway again in half an hour.
You're taking a ship to France?
Please, even my flamethrowers, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port. In order to board this vessel in time.
So you didn't say you already worked it out? That the steamship was where everything really took place?
Now, what I'm afraid, what is my name?
Sherlock Holmes, world famous great detective.
Recited to perfection. Well done.
You're a genius, Mr. Suggs. That's the only my fault. Ow, ow, ow.
Mr. Sato, gently with this genius's ass, please.
I'm ever so sorry.
If I may, Sims. Ah, there you are, Mikotoba. You may remember that it was, in fact, I who made the connection to the SS Grouse. Scotland Yard yesterday when we examined that notebook and I recalled my steamship ticket. But of course, my dear fellow. And did I once controvert that fact, I merely had court companions utter money. Yes, you did, didn't you? We just had a recess. Trial resumes in 30 minutes from now.
And if we are unable to visit any release, then I'm sorry to say.
Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I've no doubt we shall welcome news for you within the half hour.
Thank you, Soames. That would be wonderful.
Until later then.
Yes, you'll be hearing from us if you're not touched first.
Ow! I shan't be hearing anything if you keep talking my end in that man's fashion. Whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operate in that way in the first place? Well, it is what I know. It's his invention, not mine. Well, so I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Soames. We are but half that now before the grouse puts to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Turbo, when you make up surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin. First class cabin number 2. Yes, this is the one. But I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be placed here. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry looking fellow. Why are you lying around there? Who are you? My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you? Do you not recognize we're traveling great sailor? King Stroganoff, will you say? Great detective. I don't think so. Do you see that, Mikatoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. Goodness me, is that a tattoo? That's it, Soames? I will say, while such adoration is flattering, naturally, it doesn't even know cold. What are you talking about? Leave now! How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by my name and not by appearance. And yet, I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself. Shipman. That face! Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Elementary, my dear Mikatoba. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers. A man by the name of Jigoku. That is Lord Vitas Namaboot. But we know that he purchased a ticket for the passage. Ah, you need to know. He left ship to our board. Captain Cork, he said something about emergency 18. What? Are you sure? She sure realized I'm relative. cabin's the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please.
No! I have orders not to even let mouse inside!
Make a toll, but be a good man and draw his attention away with you. Make up some excuse that he leaves the eye. Doesn't great detectives see that even sailors have ears both left and right?
Asses! Plans ruined!
And you have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Sims. Go get it. Cabin door locked.
Even if I'm not here, you cannot get inside!
Victoba. I'm sure you haven't forgotten my splash in town, have you? Opening any lock. Within mere 5 seconds. So you so kind as to afford me the requisite time, my friend, and you typically accommodate mum. How can I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend? So I need to distract that birdie for 5 seconds, do I? Good man! So, the game is foot! This would appear to be no more, man. All hell break loose if that thing was me. Whole crew would know about it. Set it off. Set if off. Here go then. Pardon me in advance. You! What are you doing? If we are to sea, that will be very bad problem. What's going on down there, Seaman Stroganoff? Report at once! Sorry, sir. Nothing to report. He was just stupid chitty. No, not my me. No, my world famous. No, as I told you. Now, Holmes, no. Done. Not even 5 seconds, eh? Better just stand there, go. It's October, in we go. Oh, yeah, yes. What we're doing in 30 minutes, folks. November 3rd, inside the grouse, the first class cabin, number 2. Good gracious. It would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly. There's clothes on the floor that say shows without question. Well, it seems we are just a little too late. Yes, about 2 hours. Still, well, we should investigate thoroughly. There may well be 2 hours worth of clues to find in here. But that birdie crewman could return at any moment soon. Did you, man? Which makes all this the more thrilling. So we're gonna start with what's in front of us. Yes. Quite the exquisite glass on the side. See how it. Is something wrong, Sons? You suddenly trailed off. Ice. Mikitoba, ice. What obvious the first class passengers enjoy? Chilled drinks. Pardon? Could it be that the steamship's equipped with any electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think? Well, this is actually 9 after all. They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish produce as well as ours. On a voyage from Japan, we enjoy culinary delights from all over the world. Certainly, Mikotoba. The sight of you is making my mouth water.
What?
I haven't taken on the flavor of food I ate, you know. The trunk. Very sizable trunk, indeed. Spacious, partial to all things large. No matter currency fed if he failed to notice he left that behind. Perhaps he left it on purpose. Slight, you might think. Still hindrance to a speedy sleep. Pity. It's not, so we can't look inside. 35 seconds from now, the situation will be quite different. Certainly not. That's a 7-digit combination. And I'm not a morose enough mood to work through all the combination at present. These are the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Additionally, there are several punishments for stowing away in wardrobes and or travel cases. I feel the rules have improved since I last read them. Probably just my imagination. What about the fact that they're not straight on the wall? Doesn't that strike you? You may be right. Probably just your imagination. And you know what I always say, Mikotoba? There is nothing important about trifles. Probably just my imagination, but I think that might be slightly off. There's a substantial heap of clothes on the floor. Overcoat, shirts, dressing gown. Mamaki work trousers, Kanzen robe, Hanamaki waistband. They're the clothing of a Japanese man. And clearly Japanese men are unaccustomed to the culture of the wardrobe. Looks to me as if they've been thrown in a heap like that. Something I've heard. Indeed. Help yourself to a Japanese man's shirt, perhaps? I'm sure you may mention to packing to you. They very likely drowned in one of the Seychelles shirts. I'll just buy any extras I need, I think. And this is the waste paper basket. Look, and there's still rubbish inside. Indeed, and let's pry. I've discovered recently I have a penchant for exploring the contents of others' these paper baskets. I sincerely hope for your work. Here we have a notice issued to passengers from 3 days ago. 3 days ago? The night before we arrived in London. I was still at port myself. Evacuation drill notice, October 31st. Ah, yes, there was an evacuation drill. I remember that. For our safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under watchful eye of the crew. So it was a welcome relief to have some privacy flights. It was found in Jigoku's cabin. slightly different color just here. Do you see it? Mm-hmm. One of you samurais is what a frame that has been hanging for some time to remove. Perhaps your friend is an auntie. Now, there's a bow deduction worthy of a great detective, I'm sure. And invariably, the illicit thief has been plaguing Francis' garage rooms. I think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere, Soames, don't you? I don't lie on the wall. I feel as though I might have spotted something of a similar shape and size elsewhere. You're still here! Ah, Abel Seaman Stroganoff, hello again. I was beginning to think you never materials. You are waiting for me? Of course, I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner. I was a trouble captain because I tricked you played before. Poor innocent chicken. Chicken Stroganoff? His name was Chicken Stroganoff. We couldn't afford beef, so his brother's name is Beef. His name's Chicken. It is all your fault! Ship leaving port to get off now! Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow. But first, there is something that must be done. What on earth are you talking about? Why, naturally. The debunking of your deceit and the bearing of the truth? Kakuri! I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Jigoku has not yet left this vessel at all. Ah! And for another, my dear Seaman Stroganoff, you know exactly what the man is, even as we speak, don't you? How can you... Good gracious. Good gracious, Soames, you've worked it out. Hold it. It's really been too long. 10 years now. So, would you care to join me for a dance on my imitable logic and reasoning? Nothing would please me more. What is... We have but minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Time's of the essence. Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us that Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. That is a seat! Sadly, that was a rather clumsy lie. See, there's something in this room that very contradicts it. What? Oh, yes, of course. I see you've noticed it too, Mr. Well, then please, do take me. What in this cabin shows the most impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago. They seem the last 3 hours have done observational skills then, Mikotoba. It's been 10 years since we last did this, Soames, not 3. Why, of course it has, quite. Now, all the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. But as I was saying, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe and the answers become clear. So, Impress me! I think I can manage that. Well, there's two things. One is the glass containing the eyes here. Is he river dancing? Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass. I'm curious that the ice had shouldn't have melted despite it being abandoned 2 hours ago. It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. With this well-chilled glass in hand. The refreshment serves. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our going. Truly, Mr. Stroganoff. Why would I say sure one from us? Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one small matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins of the SS Gross are the same ones in which you and Mr. Chikuku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan? Ah, that's right. They are. I was in the cabin next door, and Seishiro was, yes. 50 days in this very cabin of our voyage. I'm not expecting what you see. There are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Chikuku had to hide. What traces? I know nothing about this! This is no serious, it's Mr. Stroganoff. Sims, what exactly are you getting at? As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure will have escaped your notice. Something out of place in here. That's the key to this Mikotoba. The remnants of this dark deed that took place in here are being masked by something quite encourageous. I must say I didn't ever foresee this. I must say I did not foresee ever doing this down to the deduction of you again, Mikotoba. Well, I was full of unexpected twists and turns as we met now. Now then, let's see if I can uncover the truth here. Yes, you have the floor, my dear friend. Well, I'm looking at it. Right. He's river dancing! It's the rules of passage in this frame here. Obviously they're out of place. The way they're hanging crooked on the wall, as if they were put there in a hurry. Yes, I'm sure you've already concluded that the frame was originally over here, the shape and size of Heaven Match. You alright? In the frame move? I did about observing everything on you, Mr. Stroganoff. I would think your captain's quite justified in having his reservations about your reliability. Yes, good! So, Victober, why don't you lift that frame off the wall? Like a bullet hole! What? What's the talking about? Pick up this woman's already disposed of it. Now, Mr. Stroganoff. I have the distinct impression that you are attempting to shield said occupant. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I try to protect a stranger? So we are talking about the same man, I see. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Because there's some noteworthy evidence that explains the reason why you're lying for the man. Yes, you've been told to keep up this pretense as clearly as shown by... I really don't know how to approach this one, Sims. Ah, my dear Nikitaba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study a subject from every angle. And I'm quite sure you'll see it. In fact, I put a wager on it. So I'm to grab the fellow from all sides, well, I can certainly do that. Sir, what is this? I must rubber dance your ass. It's almost too obvious for words. Mind. The universal language of the world. Money. Oh! And I wager that the Eastern Federal question. This issue, what need you go? Yes. So, I assume you realize what this means? There are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. The way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being police. I believe you know Mr. Stroganoff. You know where Mr. Jigoku's hiding it at this precise moment in time. As always, Victoria, in matters of production, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally. Yes, I think you're onto something there, Sims. You found a chink in his ready affairs. We need only further demand is to know where our prey is hiding. The slightest flicker of pupils. Minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention, even that which is very perceptible. You can hardly call this very perceptible. Some man's turned on his head. Just like this game series. It's not exactly what you describe as furtive glance, is it? Oh, it's too long. We shall let your toes decide, my dear fellow. Sir, what the hell, man? River dancing your way into people's hearts. You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? Oh! The truth is, Seisho Guanyu Jigoku was unable to escape from and is, at this very moment, doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk. If he still has breath to take, I fear he may be running dangerously low on there. I imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. I think it would be in everyone's best interest for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible. But how can we? Are you forgetting about the combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code! The combination lock can't be opened from inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it. At that imagine. Of course. In short, before Jigoku hid himself inside that trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number for the lock. As you can confirm, Mr. Stroganoff. No, I know nothing about combination code! Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. Now, Nikitoba, would you do the honors and open the trunk? else do you expect me? It's a 7-digit number, remember. Quick now, we've no time. Okay, fine. 5, 2, 3, 1. Four. 5. That did it! It's open! Yeah, it's a mental, didn't you? Oh. Yeah, it's a mental, didn't you? How you found me now? I'm not going to ask how the fuck you managed to do something like that, man. Session. I was really hoping beyond hope not to find you here, you know. But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it. No, quite. I just wish it were some other way. Well, are you ever going to introduce me? Ah, your reputation precedes you. I've read stories of many of your exploits. Excuse me, man. This is Mr. Kunio-kun, my old friend and traveling companion. The devil is in the details, Mikito. I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion? Who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone who turned when things turned sour? I see my reputation precedes me as what an honor. Well, say, Shiro, are you going to explain all this? You know it all by now, I imagine. What you don't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before I arrived from Britain, an attempt was made on my life here on this very ship. By the Reaper of the Bailey, yes, I have since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now, mind you. And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when, it became all too apparent to me that I may very well be targeted again. So you decided to flee the capital without a single word to me about it? I'm afraid so, yes. Of course, I realize now that I really ought to have confronted you. Somewhat surprising, I must say. Waters. First-class cabins of world's luxury steamships are in very short supply. More than enough hard to believe that this one just happened to be available. So says the protagonist of some colorful short stories. But I don't care for your opinion. The cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket, and here I am. I've just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. So you already purchased your return ticket before we even docked in Dover, had you? To prevent anyone else from taking this cabin and seeing the evidence, is that it? I have nothing to say. Well, in a mere 5 minutes, the ship will set off on its homeward voyage and not make port again until Italy. I'm afraid we must insist that you disembark with us at once. You have no jurisdiction over my movements. We have have this, Seishiro. Take it. What is it? A subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from British courts would be. You came prepared, didn't you? Come on, let's go. One moment. What is it, Holmes? Inside Mr. Jigoku's trunk, I found this rather fascinating trinket. What was that? Seishiro? I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small component from somewhere. What? By the look on his face, I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, let us pocket it as some small souvenir of our brief sojourn in France. That small component. Well, young Naruto, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant. And yes, this is all one part. Back at the Old Bailey courtroom. 12:10, November 3rd. Kazuma Asogi. I know you. And I know you wouldn't lie. But still, there's no doubt that you're holding something back. You know more than you're saying. So in the past 30 minutes, while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained. We must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed. There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict. No, the trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Yunosuke. You should know when to lay down your sword. And you should know never to presume when the battle's won. Has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. And there can only be one conclusion. That the accused is guilty! All relevant testimony? Far from it. There's still crucial witness from whom the court is yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to stand at once, Scott. Yes, my lord. Tomorrow. If possible. The witness is already on his way and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Seishiro Kunio-kun. The very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Shigoku? You found him? But the investigations of every policing resource in the capital suggest that Jigoku's already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? He was located in France during the recess at the port of Dunkirk. Thanks to one of Mr. Halakson's famous deductions. Halak Solms. Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death. Because alongside with Prosecutor Asogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grouse on October 31st. Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move to education at this point. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections from either side? No, my lord. No objections, my lord. We live to fight another day. By the skin of our teeth. So we had a dance of deduction as well as this. Oh my god, I'm definitely gonna stop right here. Oh. And in the next part, will be the second part of the trial. And oh boy. Yeah, it's gonna be something. Part 2 of the final trial of this case. It's coming at you right after this.